a time for women to come forward and be who they are. And many women fill roles in their whole lives. They're having to be mothers or wives or sisters or caregivers or whatever it is. And work, they work too, so they have a job title too. So the lovely part about this time in our lives is we get to fully, come to be who we are at our core. And so oftentimes that is way more audacious than we've ever been in our lives. So it's a happy time.
And as we mature, we have more wisdom, we have more sense of ourselves, we have more things to offer to the world, and we have more to offer to ourselves, but quite often we don't take the time to offer ourselves that which we need. So this is the time that we can be fearless, we can be audacious, and we can be real. Everything we do impacts the younger culture as well as the older culture, because who we're being, when we're being all of ourselves, then of course we're impacting everyone we come in contact with. Yeah. This focus is on the more mature women, and as we take it out into the world, we know that it's going to be making a difference to everyone, that all the women who are participating in this, who they come in contact with. So of course we're always impacting them as well as ourselves and each other.
Yeah, and actually partners and young men, and I think people who see women as whole and as experiencing themselves in a positive way, invariably are influenced by it, invariably feel the outcome of a woman in that grace and in that willingness to express herself and willingness to be fully herself. That process is, I think, meant to be driven by women and for women.
It's simply about honoring who we are, and this is our time. If we go back to the Red Tent is a book that comes to mind, when women were menstruating, they all gathered together because they're gathering their strength so they can take it out into the world, for everyone is impacted and is benefits from everything that we do in the secrecy of who we are. You can be totally who you are. You can be a little bit flamboyant. You can be a little bit irreverent. You can be well-spoken. You can be soft-spoken. But it's about being honest, being honestly who you are, and dare to be all of that.
Yeah, I think women, a lot of times, society leashes us in certain ways, and so I think audacious simply means unleashing yourself, whatever that form that might take in your personality. We try to fit into roles all our lives and fit into things, and I think audacious at this time of our lives really just means shedding all the trappings that have been society's placed on us and really letting ourselves be authentic. And sometimes that just means stepping outside our boundaries and coloring outside the lines and really just enjoying that process.
I love that, Kate. It's stepping outside of the damn box.
Yeah.
Because we're always confined, or not always, sometimes we're confined. So it's...
Yeah, we're leashed. We have these little leashes in all directions. And it's just taking them off and being who you are. I've met and surpassed whatever society wanted me to do, and now it's my time to fully express myself. So it's coming out of my own box that I created for myself, and just really unburying myself, taking myself out of a little coffin, if you will. I created a little perfect coffin that fit me exactly right, but it was not a happy place. I didn't want to be in a coffin at 50-something, so time to unnail the coffin, time to take it apart and put all that aside and really enjoy my time.
And I think for me, it's recognizing that I do have a voice. There's so much that I have to give. There's so much that I have experienced. And that unleashing and that coming out of the coffin for me actually happened after I'd been at a company for about 16 and a half years. And one day I went in and I realized that my soul was dying. I had a secure job, everything was going great. And suddenly I realized I was not being me. And so I quit my job, I became a life coach, and I've not looked back. And I can share those experiences because the experiences that I've had they're still part of me, and they still expand as I share who I am with the world. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty darn audacious. You know, when you're settled in who you are, when you're sure about who you are, then the gifts you give are so much more meaningful. They're so much deeper.
At some point, it would be really wonderful to do this as a composite of ages and
Intergenerational.
yeah, and just really let this be even younger women than women younger than 40. About it is there's young wisdom and there's old wisdom, and young wisdom is really a great return. It's a completing of the circle of what women have to offer at all of our stages of life. And I think I really learned so much from the young women and the groups that I've been in, that it really made me honor young wisdom.